Welcome back to Mr. Wicklam's virtual math classroom, where today what we're going to be moving on from decimals, and what we're going to be looking at today is just a short lesson on unit rates. Unit rates or rates in general are kind of something you need to deal with, especially when we're looking at something like interest rates. Okay? And what a rate is it's a comparison of two quantities in different units. So, for instance, when you're looking at interest rate, the interest rate deals in percent, because the rate that you're going to pay interest could be, let's say, 7%, and what you pay on is the dollar amount. So let's say you borrowed $10,000. So you have two different units and two quantities, right? 10,000, 7%, and the units are dollars and percentage. Now that's a real life example. Another real life example would be a bag of chips that costs $1.50. It is a rate because you're looking at one bag of chips and you're dealing with money or dollars. So you have two quantities, one and $1.50, and you have two different units, bag of chips and dollars. So when I look at what's being compared, I look at the bag of chips and money. That's what's being compared. So this up top was the interest rate. And if you ask your mom and dad about interest rates, they deal with them all the time. It could be on a credit card, it could be on a mortgage, it could be on a car loan, could be on numerous things. Anything that you take money out from the bank on, you get interest. Or even if you have a savings account, you have money in the bank and they pay you interest. So that's what a rate is. Okay, so a rate usually involves two quantities in different units. A unit rate is much different, because a unit rate, I'm going to underline unit, because a unit, what that means is one. Okay, so one of the quantities is equal to 1. So when you look at this, you look at one apple costs 30 cents. So that's a unit rate because the one apple makes it a unit rate, because we're looking at quantities equal to 1. Okay, so when we look at some unit rates, we look at one book costs $2. So that's the unit rate. What we're going to be finding is we're going to be finding different rates. So for instance, one book costs $2. 3 books cost, well, 3 times $2. So 2, 4, 6. Costs $6. What about 5 books? Same thing. 5 times 2, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 is equal to $10. Alright? So if we say we're going to run 13 kilometers in an hour, alright, then knowing that we've run 13 kilometers an hour, how many can we run in 2 hours? Well, 13 times 2 equals 26 kilometers. What about 3? 13 times 3 equals 39 kilometers. So really, guys, we're not doing anything too extravagant here. All we're doing is we're just doing some multiplication, especially when we want to find what more than one costs. Now, if you want to find the unit rate, which is 1, remember, you want to find what 1 costs, okay, or what 1 is. That's what the unit rate is. When you want to find the unit rate, you have to divide, because you need to find what 1 is. And when you only want to find what 1 is, you need to divide. So let's look at a couple of problems. Let's see here. Bob makes $30 picking apples for 3 hours. So $30 for 3 hours of work. How much did Bob make in an hour? So we want to find out what Bob made in 1 hour. Well, you know he made $30 for 3 hours, and I've told you to find the unit rate, or for 1 hour, we need to divide. Well, you take those numbers, $30 divided by 3. I count up by 3s till I get to 30. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30. I have 10 fingers up, so therefore $10. So how much did Bob make in an hour? Bob made $10 an hour. So when you get a pay stub, or when you get a paycheck, when you work at Tim Hortons or you work at McDonald's, it has on there a unit rate. And the unit rate, it doesn't say how much you make an hour. It says unit rate, because the unit rate is what you make an hour. And when I used to work there, I used to have something on my paycheck called unit rate, because that's what they were paying me an hour. When I first started at McDonald's, I made $5.40 an hour. When I quit at Tim Hortons, I was well over $20 an hour. So that's the unit rate, what you make for 1 hour. So let's take a look at question B. Question B says 3 books costs $15. How much does 1 book cost? Well, to find that out, find the unit rate, you need to divide. So to find 1 book, follow the example in A. And what I would like you to do is I would like you to use question B in your Google Docs. Okay? So answer question B in your Google Docs. How much does 1 book cost? As always, I'm always available for help. This is Mr. Wicklum, signing off.